Former U.S. President Donald Trump has been charged with 4 counts of attempting to overturn the 2020 election, including inciting the deadly Capitol riot on January 6. He is accused of spreading prolific lies about election fraud and pressuring state officials to change the results. This is the 3rd indictment against Trump, who faces several legal challenges in different states. 1. Nigeria has reportedly cut off electricity supplies to Niger, a landlocked country that depends on its neighbor for power, in order to increase pressure on the military junta that seized power in a coup last month. Niger's government said the sanctions were affecting its health and education sectors, as well as its economy. The African Union and the Economic Community of West African States have also imposed sanctions on Niger, demanding a return to civilian rule too. Singer and rapper Lizzo has been accused of sexual harassment and fat-shaming by 3 former dancers who worked with her on tour. The dancers claim that Lizzo created a hostile work environment, where they were subjected to unwanted sexual advances, verbal abuse, and body shaming. They are seeking damages for emotional distress, lost wages, and medical expenses. Lizzo has not commented on the allegations. 3. El Salvador's eastern region of Morazan is under siege by gangs, who have imposed a curfew, blocked roads, and threatened residents with violence. The gangs are trying to prevent the government from deploying more security forces in the area, where they control drug trafficking and extortion rackets. The government has vowed to restore order and protect the population, but many people are afraid to leave their homes or report crimes. Russian drones have attacked grain silos in Ukraine's Danube port of Izmail, near the border with Romania, causing damage and fires. The attack is seen as an escalation of the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine, which has intensified in recent weeks. Russia has amassed tens of thousands of troops near Ukraine's borders, raising fears of a possible invasion. Ukraine has accused Russia of waging a hybrid war against it, using cyber attacks, propaganda, and sabotage. A Pakistani minister has sparked outrage for making misogynist remarks about women in parliament. Fawad Chaudhry, the Minister for Science and Technology, called a female lawmaker a tractor trolley, and said she should not be allowed to speak because she was ugly. He also mocked another female lawmaker for being divorced. Chaudhry's comments have been condemned by women's rights activists, opposition parties, and social media users, who have demanded his resignation and apology. Fitch Ratings has stripped the U.S. of its top AAA credit rating, citing the failure of Congress to raise the debt ceiling before the October 18 deadline. The rating agency said the U.S. was at risk of defaulting on its obligations, which would have severe consequences for the global economy. Fitch downgraded the U.S. to A+, with a negative outlook, meaning further cuts are possible. The U.S. Treasury Department has warned that it will run out of money to pay its bills by October 18, unless Congress acts soon. NASA has picked up a heartbeat signal from a lost space probe that went silent in 2017. The Stereo B spacecraft was part of a mission to study the Sun from different angles, but it lost contact with Earth after a test maneuver went wrong. NASA has been trying to re-establish communication with the probe ever since, and recently detected a faint signal that indicates it is still alive. NASA hopes to restore full control over the probe and resume its scientific operations. India has banned the export of rice until March 2024, in an attempt to curb inflation and ensure food security amid rising global prices and supply disruptions. The ban applies to all varieties of rice, except for basmati and organic rice. India is the world's largest exporter of rice, accounting for about a quarter of the global market. The ban could trigger a food crisis in many countries that depend on India for their staple food, especially in Africa and Asia. England's cricket team is facing uncertainty over its preparations for the World Cup in India next year, as it still does not know where it will play its warm-up matches or group games. The International Cricket Council, ICC, has not finalized the venues or fixtures for the tournament, which is scheduled to start in February 2024. England's coach Chris Silverwood said he was frustrated by the lack of clarity and hoped to get some answers soon.